guys, I have a question. So, how many of you guys think your guys' cell phone is like an essential item in your everyday life? Yeah. So yeah, there's many positives to it, right? Like it's in case of an emergency, you can call whoever. You know, you can go on the internet. We have text messaging and all that. So there's a lot of positives to it. But I'm here to inform you guys and to kind of shed light about the negatives of cell phones that you guys might not know of. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about how cell phones can cause us a distraction in school, how it can have negative health effects, and of course texting and driving. So first of all, cell phones and school. I'm pretty sure in any class you've been in, you can spot one person at least on their cell phone. And with cell phones nowadays, you know, we have access to the internet, we can upload files, we can save files, we can email, text message, and all that. And with all that technology, a lot of students nowadays, you know, kind of resort to that as, oh, I didn't study for my last test, but it's okay because I can look it up on the internet without my teacher seeing. And I know now that that's been a problem in schools, and schools have been banning the uses of cell phones, and it just becomes a really distraction, and students become really dependent on using cell phones for schoolwork and in replacement of studying. And so now that you guys know the negative effects of how it is negatively affecting school, I'm going to tell you guys about how it could negatively affect your health. There's been controversy about radiation in cell phones. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but according to the National Institute of Health, there is no consistent link between the use of cell phone, the radiation, which is radio frequency energy that it gives off, and there's no link with that with brain tumors or brain cancer. But there is, but a lot of scientists and doctors, you know, they're really skeptical because it's giving off radiation, and of course, radiation, you know, it can't help your body. Just because, you know, when you have X-rays, they want to minimize it. So along with those X-rays, radiation that gives off with radiation that cell phones give off, doctors are really skeptical, and they did a test on rats, and with rats there was a negative effect on the brain. So, but they can't find the link between humans and cell phones, but they did find the link between rats and cell phones. So, of course, you know, scientists and doctors, they want to just give precautions. You know, don't stay on the phone too long because of the radiation it does give off. Also, that you know, you can use a headset in replacement, and when you have less signal, that's the more radiation that your cell phone causes. So, try to not talk on the phone when you don't have that much signal as well. And if you guys didn't know that cell phones have 18 times more bacteria than a public restroom toilet handle. So there was a study done on that, and basically in the UK and here in America also, they did similar studies. They took like 30 cell phones, and they tested the amount of bacteria on it, and they found like bacteria like staph bugs on cell phones. And you know, bacteria, they like warmth, so cell phones, of course, when you hold it, when you keep it in your pocket, it's just accumulating all that bacteria. So they found that it was 10 times more bacteria than normal accepted bacterial count, and 18 times more than a public toilet restroom handle. And staph bugs the effects of that is you can get skin irritation, you get meningitis. So, you know, of course, so just make sure you clean your cell phones periodically with, you know, antibacterial wipes or anything like that. And so now that you guys know about the negative effects of cell phones on your health, I'm going to talk to you guys about texting and driving. So, of course, you guys know texting and driving. A lot of people do it. I'm pretty sure. I'm hoping that you guys aren't guilty of it. But people do text and drive, and of course when you're texting and driving, you're looking at your cell phone, so you're not really concentrating on the road. You're periodically glancing from the road to your phone, you're thinking about what you want to send out, and so you're not totally 100% focused on the road, which you should be, so you're aware of your surroundings. And according to Car and Driver, which is a leading automobile publication, they did another test, and they did an experiment on a closed course with an airstrip, and they had two drivers and they wanted to test out the reaction times to braking while they were reading a text, while they're writing a text, and while they're under the limit of 0.08 of alcohol content. And so with one of the drivers, with his braking reaction, his normal reaction time was 0.45 seconds at 35 miles per hour. But when that time of 0.45 seconds worsened to 0.57 seconds while reading a text, which is at 21 feet, extra 21 feet. It worsened to 0.52 seconds while writing a text, sending a text out, and according to the results, his result time while he was under the influence of alcohol, it was only 0.46 seconds as his reaction time. So that's a lot. That's less worse than sending out a text and writing out a text, which I want to explain to you guys in my graph, or my chart graph. And basically, so this is the results. These are the two, Alterman and Brown are the two people who did this experiment. And as you can see, they did at two different speeds, 70 miles per hour and 35 miles per hour. And what they did was, like I said, reading, texting, and impaired, which is 0.08 alcohol by content. And so the Alterman, he's a lot older. He's older than Brown, but regardless of age, it still has, as you can see, the car length, the distance is a lot more when it comes to reading and texting than it was with being under the influence of alcohol. So an average car length is about 13 feet. So if you can imagine, if you can just divide it, 180 divided by 13, 21 divided by 13, those car lengths accumulate, and it, of course, it leads to many car accidents. And so now that I told you about the effects of negative effects on just how cell phones, how it affects schoolwork, how it affects your health, and how it affects driving. I just want you guys to know that if you guys drive on the freeways, you can see there's the messages now. It's $159 minimum for tickets for texting. So think about what you guys can do with that $159. Thank you.